Yo, and Heiliger, back for why 2018 was a nightmare part 2 for me. So let's talk about the second thing. And this is kind of with the friendship, but it's more deep. I'm not telling the full story, or actually not telling the story at all, just how it makes me feel. And I'm talking about crushes, love, and rejection. All in the same thing. So let me tell you about it. Friendship. Friendship, you make a fool of yourself, you do stupid stuff like I do, you feel embarrassed, and you want to make up for it, but then you end up failing, you end up making stupid things. It's just bad. But crushes go deeper. Because when your friend's a crush, or your crush is just a crush, and you're not friends with your crush, it can sidetrack. I haven't had to deal with that before, where my crush is someone I don't know, like fully, but my crushes were usually my friends. And here's the problem. Because a lot of them are online, as I told you. I'm an online friend person. And whenever I had a crush online, it failed. It failed actually really bad. Like, remember the dagger metaphor? It's in full effect. Or the friendship, if friendship was in your heart, then the knife in your heart is continuing to move up. Because that's exactly what happened. So, I'm going to save my first crush, the actual story of my first crush, in another video. And the other two stories I'm not going to mention because, well, I can't because I have no permission to say it. But I'll tell you how it felt. So when you make friends, let's just say this. You make friends with your best friend and you get rejected. It sounds pretty bad, and it was. You go through this cycle almost. It almost goes through this weird watering cycle of pain. It's really bad. It's almost sickening. And my friends mentioned how bad it would be. But for me, it was my first time being rejected. And I made a video that I deleted about, I was making it as a joke story, but since I can't talk about it's not really relevant. What is relevant, because this is a more of a serious thing for me, is that how do you explain crushes? Because you like someone, right? And you try to make friends with them. You succeeded. If you're better, you can be best friends. But here's the problem. You get friend zoned, and then you're like, oh, well, the world spins on me. It kicked me. It stabbed me. Okay, that might sound a little overdramatic, but in the context, it kind of isn't. I know everyone goes through it. It was the first for me. I got over it, kinda, but it's still there, right? Like, you still feel it. You still have feelings. You just can't get rid of it. And, worse, you get a second crush, and then that fails immediately. Because you know that person you have no chance with. It's just awful. It really is. It's actually just sickening. Awful. Rejection and crushes are always in the same category. You can put rejection as a separate thing, because rejection can almost be its own category of awful. Because rejection doesn't have to be just crushes. It can be totally something else, like rejected from a job, rejected from a friend. But in this context, it's crushes, because whenever I experience love is the second version of crushes. When you actually start to fall in love, that is the most terrible feeling I've had. And it failed. Again, just like the crushes, it fails just as bad, and it hurts just as bad too. So, yeah. I wanted to just cry. It's kind of hard to cry, but it's hard for me to do it. But that's what I wanted to do. I tried to force my body to cry. Even though I was really sad deep inside, I just wanted to cry. But it wouldn't happen. It's almost sad. It's a sad story for me.